It's Daniel again. I'm going to go ahead and do the fishing guide. Uh, so you see, I'm standing here at the bridge between. If you look at the mini map here, this is Kharid. This is the Lumbridge Swamp. On the corner here is Lumbridge Castle. You can see that from the videos that I've made on those topics. In an earlier version of Runescape, there used to be there. This bridge did not was not here before the engineering. Um, and there used to be fishing spots on the side. Uh, looks like by the mini map that there still is one fishing spot here, although I can't. Here it is right here. So you have net and bait, and then there's some other on the other side of the river. But uh, right, so this is at the bridge. If I look at the mini map, the bank where I was doing the crafting video was on the map was right here, and then the tanning place where I was doing that's right here. All right, I have in my inventory here so I can talk about it while I'm fishing. I have a stack of bait that I bought, and if you remember, I was buying feathers while I was on the tour, narrated map tour. So these are just feathers that I've been picking up in different places. Obviously, picked up a little bit more than I thought I did, but that's okay because I will use the feathers for not just for fishing, but I'll use them for fletching also. I, again, I'm doing this skilling video during 2x, so please understand that I'm getting twice as much experience that I normally would. So as you see, I'm already going to 4 fishing. I was at 3 from bonuses from the daily keys that I got while I was doing the map narrations, and configuration videos, and trying to get this account set up for these videos. Remember in the crafting video, I told you that we got 2 rocks per skill for the statue in the Rock Museum. So I got one of the 2 rocks already. So that's already here. Uh, this other option, if you right click on a fishing spot and it says bait, it will tell you need fishing level 5. So I'm just going to continue to net. So maybe I'll just go ahead and fill up this inventory. Um, I'll, I'll go back to the bank, put these in the bank, and then I'll put my feathers away. I'll come back with just the bait, and I'll do a little of that for you so that you can see different types. I've also prepared a cooking demonstration uh, while between videos, so I will I'll be able to do that as well. Uh, while we're on the 2x. Ideally, I'm gonna try to get all of those skillings to 30 on video for you, so that you can see how to get your account started. Because the first 30 levels of each skill are the hardest, because it's like, oh, what can I do? And then after you have after you have all your skills started, and then you have more options of what you can do. But then after you get your skills above 50, it really starts to take a little longer. And then when you get your skills to 73, it's about 1 million experience somewhere in that area. And then the ones 90 and above take a long time. So just keep in mind the level spread out. The When I was playing years ago, uh, for these strange rocks, they had a rock bag, which I believe was the packet slot here, and then the rocks would go into the bag in the pocket slot, so it wouldn't take up the inventory. I'll have to check on that. Uh, when I'm doing this series on construction or the series on the Varrock Museum, I'll have to check on that. Somebody wants to know, post the message below, and I will address that. Same with all the other videos. If you have a question on something, I forgot to do something, because there's a lot of content in Runescape, and they're always changing things. Uh, so it's very easy to miss something. Just post a message, and I will try to address that. Uh, Maybe even make a video about it, because if you're gonna ask that, then I'm sure there's other people who wonder the same thing. So that would help you. That would help others as well. So please ask your questions below, and remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see the video appear when I do that. So we're at 7 fishing already, and this inventory is already almost full. Fishing is a little bit of a slower skill than crafting. And a little bit more interaction, because you have to see where the fishing spot moves from time to time, and then your inventory will fill up like it is now. So then I have to go to the bank, and I have to go to the bank and put this what I collected back in the bank. So fishing is a collection skill. So I'm gonna put away my feathers, like I said. I'm gonna put the rock here. I picked up some shrimps and beef. We did cows in the ranging and maging video. So if you want to see where to get the beef, you can look at that video. Picked up some shrimps in the Grand Exchange. So when I deposit these, it'll stack on top of that. Alright, so I'm gonna keep the bait out because I will do a round of bait fishing. Let me just show you. I have 7 fishing now. Level 5 is one of the requirements for Taiwan Trio Quest. Level 5 is for bait fishing, for sardine fishing. Alright, and then this one, Karamwanji, and I'm maybe slaughtering the word. Apologize to any natives if that's a word in your language. If you want to correct me on that, you can feel free to post a corrected pronunciation to your channel and put a link below. I will be happy to premiere that spelling, the pronunciation of that spelling. So if you right click on the net spot, there is a bait. So you'll see now I can, with the fishing rod, before I had the net, now I'm with the fishing rod. I just caught some sardines. I'm gonna reduce the size of this map because I don't need it to take up that much space. I was doing that to show you, the viewers, where everything was. It's close enough now. You can see the bank is here, the fishing spot's here. So that's already clear. So I got 8 fishing now. Uh, Once I get a couple more levels, then I will be able to catch these faster. But it speeds up as my level goes up. So right now the shrimps will be faster than this catching, but there will be less experience each one. So as a trade-off, uh, it really isn't too long. We are on 2x experience, so this is going rather quickly for this skill, for all skills actually. It should be twice as fast actually. So you can feel free, obviously, to get your favorite water or herbal beverage or some other item. But I prefer herbal. So one thing to note here, I got 10 fishing. Notice I just got herring. So this same spot will give sardines or herring if I open the flashing 10 here. Uh, I now have all the levels for the fishing contest, and I can now catch herring, which is bait, and red eye and Dangenheim, that's the engineering. Uh, and I got 11 fishing while I was showing you that. So no new things. The next new thing is at 15, anchovies, nut fishing. So nut fishing would be at the other spot. So after I get to 15, remind me, after I get to 15, I'll switch back. There's the other fishing rock. So now I will not get any more fishing rods until I complete that statue. There, last time I was really active on my other account, I had uh, I'd seen an option to the turn off the rocks. That may still be there. I'll have to verify that. That's something to think about if you don't want to do that minigame right now. If you don't want to collect the rocks, you can maybe a way to turn that off. All right, it's 13. This is still nothing new. I'm gonna head back to the bank, put these into the bank. Alright, so that's the sardines, that's the herrings. I'm hungry already. Just wait till I get the salmon. I wish it was this easy to get fish in real life. Alright, so I deposited everything and I organized my rocks. The bank organization is really easy. Very important as well when you get started because as you start getting things as a new player, these you can see already in just in a couple of days of recording, I already have a lot of items in here. So yeah, some things I bought. But when you're skilling, if you're skilling all of the skills, the bank will start to get very full very fast. So try to organize things there's a tab system. So if you drag things to the tab, uh, it'll create a new tab for you, and then you can organize things within that tab. So right now I made one tab for mm, mage and one tab for range, but I will eventually combine those. I'll eventually combine all three, mage, range, and melee, into one. Uh, I'll combine probably some other skilling stuff into one as well. And I'll probably combine questing stuff into one tab. I'll have to see what works for me when I start the questing series, because there'll be of a lot of a lot of items very quickly. The quests have a lot of items as well. So here's 15. So if you open this, you'll see anchovies. So I'm going to switch back, and I'm gonna net. So let's see, there's shrimps. There's shrimps. The shrimps, remember I told you that it will be faster to catch them with the higher levels. So I'm at 15 now. Shrimps are a level 1 catch. Uh, the anchovies are a level 15 catch. So I'm expecting that I will get more shrimps than I will anchovies. Uh, this actually, there we go, there's anchovies. I'm expecting that uh, as the fishing level goes up, uh, I'll, well, it actually looks equal now. Oh, it's greater now, actually. So I was gonna say, as the level goes up, I end up catching more anchovies than shrimps. But perhaps they changed something in the engine, but I'm already getting more anchovies than shrimps. So that's one thing that you'll notice in this quest series, is that be prepared to see things change. So if I'm still shooting these videos for you in a year from now, be prepared to see some changes in the game over the coming year, because that's just the way that this company is. That they always change things. Uh, so some things are stay similar. Like the fishing spot was still near the Kharid bank, so there's still similar to the way I'm training things. There are new ways to train for higher levels that is a little bit faster, but uh, but the old ways, a lot of the old ways are still here. So I'm already at 17 fishing, and I'll show you. So 16 is big nut, mackerel, oyster, casket, seaweed. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a short break from here and go over to where I see the big nut, Catherby. Alright, so here is the Catherby lodestone. If you look in the mini map here, this is the bank, and on the west side of the lodestone is the bank. The east side of the lodestone is the fishing spot. So I'm going to go over to the fishing spot. Right, so there is an option uh, to big net. See, net and bait. Net and bait. I believe that's the one similar to the one in Kharid. net and harpoon. So the one that says net and harpoon, alright, so net, that's big net. Alright, so net and bait is, I went away. Alright, so see what the one that says net harpoon when you right click on it. But I say I caught seaweed, I caught boots. You can also catch, there's also fish, but the larger net collects some other. So seaweed is actually used in glass making, which you can use in crafting. Boots could be used in inventing. Much later, you need smithing, crafting, and divination to 80 to start that elite skill. You can disassemble the boots for mostly junk and some other parts. And then, or you can save this for alchemy. So disassemble would be, I just caught a mackerel, had an achievement there. Disassemble would be for the inventing. So let's see, where is the alchemy? Low level alchemy is 21 mage, and then high level alchemy is 55 mage. So you can convert the boots into gold, but you have to look at how much gold you're getting, because you will use a nature rune, and you can get away without using the 5 fire runes if you use a fire staff, but you have to look at the cost of the nature rune. If you sell the runes versus if you alchemy that, or if you just want to alchemy for the experience. Okay, so you have different choices. It's a game. Have fun with it. So this is called an MMORPG, a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So you can role-play your role however you want. So right now I will give you the basics, and then you can establish your how you like to do things. That should be based on your own preferences. If you like to do things ideal, then find out what that ideal is for you. Your ideal for your experience, then you won't care about the gold. Or ideal for gold, you won't care as much about the experience. Or ideal for balance, you'll try to balance between the two. There's different ways you can do things. But I'll add an achievement that came up a minute ago, a couple minutes ago in the video. Said I caught a mackerel, so here's the mackerel. This is net and bait. So net is, there was another one that was net and harpoon I showed you earlier. So this is net and bait. So I'm going to show you here. So net bait. Net bait is the small net. So I'm catching the anchovies, and then net harpoon is the one I was just doing. So I make a difference between small net and big net. If you look at your worn equipment tab, if you look at the tool belt, and if you look at the fishing gear, you'll see there's a fishing rod, a crayfish cage, a small net, a big net, a fly fishing rod. The fly fishing rod is for the feathers that I showed you. A harpoon Alright, so you'll see there's a harpoon spot. So net harpoon. Alright, and then there's another one, cage and harpoon. So cage is for lobsters. And then there's a barbarian rod, which this barbarian fishing techniques uh, that we can do that in mini quest at that time when so so let me finish up one inventory of the big nut. Yeah, so 16 I'm catching seaweed, casket, oyster, mackerel. So there's mackerel, there's casket, there's seaweed. I didn't see any oyster in here yet. It says oysters, big nut. Uh, so I'll question that a little bit. This these are members. So everything with this is members. So if you're on a free world, you'll if you didn't pay members, that's fine. Just you'll just stay at the Kharid spot that I showed you when I started this video. Uh, there's 18. So nothing new until 2020 is fly fishing. I can catch trout. Then this desk field is in engineering. So 20 is trout. I might show you the. I might stay here until 20 fishing and show you fly fishing spot in Barbarian Village. Not to be confused with the barbarian fishing methods. It's different. This one here, where I keep saying so fish flingers will start in a minute. This is a fishing minigame. That's something I'll have to cover in a separate video because you already can see that this game is very broad and changing. So there's not really any way to cover everything about this game in one video. Uh, these videos will become quite the series. So I'm gonna deposit these mackerels. I'm gonna save the seaweed. Um, see how to organize this. For right now, I'm gonna move the seaweed up next to my herbs, which really isn't the right place for it, but I'm just trying to get away from my food. The leather boots and leather gloves. I'm gonna move those up next to my leather. So it looks like it's more appropriate. These caskets open. I found some coins, and this one I found an uncut ruby. So for those of you watching this video, if you like the big net fishing, uh, you can get those caskets, and you'll see like that. Uh, I'm gonna put the ruby next to my jewelry for right now. It really belongs with crafting supplies, but I don't really have a. Well, actually, crafting supplies would be leather, but I'm gonna leave it with my jewelry right now because I can make jewelry with that. So organize it how you like. Just trying to show various ways to do things. 'Cause, Alright, so what looks like one more round of the big net. So you want net with the harpoon. Net with bait is the other type. The one I was doing on Kharid is net bait, and the one I'm doing with the caskets and the seaweed and boots and gloves and the mackerel. That is here. Here's an oyster, right? That's net harpoon. So we cannot do the harpoon yet. We need 76. So that's the 76 is raw shark. So again, remember this video is in 2x, so it should take you about twice as long as it's taking me because um, the 2x is only for a short period of time. So if you're watching this video, it's uh, likely that the 2x is already finished. Although, if you manage to start the account right at the beginning of the 2x event, then you're lucky if you can get started quickly. Right, the oysters, just like the caskets, you can click to open. I got an oyster pearl, which I could craft, but so oyster pearl, I need 41 fletching, um, so I'll have to do that at another time. So I'll have to put that with my fletching gear. Uh, fletching gear would be like arrowheads, arrow shafts. Um, I could put feathers with fletching gear as well, or I could put it with fishing gear. So that makes it a little bit difficult where to put things when you need it for two different things. But that's a decision you have to make on how to organize your bank. Because if you don't do that, I've had, especially when I had the Santa's Elves parades, that I lost my uniform. It's like, oh, let me just give you a spare. Here you go. And then the next parade, I lost my uniform again. It's like, oh wait, I found the hat. It's like, right, maybe organize the Christmas stuff on the one tab. Oh yeah, good idea. And then that next parade, oh yeah, I have everything. It's like, good. So please, if you are following my guide, if you have one takeaway, please organize your bank. I'm sure if we manage to do a Christmas parade this year, and somebody will message me, say, "Thanks for the tip. I organized my bank. Have everything in order." Great. This video series was all worthwhile because somebody took away that uh, idea to organize, and I made their life easier. That's nice. So there's another oyster pearl. So you see now at 18 fishing, this is getting a bit slower. So let me see, nut bait. I'm gonna go to the nut bait spot to try to speed up a little bit. Let's see if that works. I moved. So I'm going to the small nut fishing. Let me see. Stay there. Yep, that's better. Alright, so Big net fishing at this level is a bit slow. So what I was trying to explain before is that sometimes it's a little bit faster to go back to the previous one that you were doing for a little while, for a few levels, and then come back. Uh, that sometimes helps speed up collection skills. Uh, Fishing is a collection skill. Mining is a collection skill. Wood cutting is a collection skill. Uh, Smithing is uh, it's like crafting. They're uh, you're doing things uh, with the materials, so you can buy materials to speed up, or you can collect materials to save money. Uh, Deposit all. Alright, so the oyster was going there. I'm gonna put the oyster pearls with my nails, because the nails will you can make bolts with that. So that's with fletching. So I'm gonna leave that there. Right, so I'm 19 fishing now. 20 is fly fishing. Let me finish up net bait, net small net fishing. Alright, and there goes the 20, level 20. So I can now get trout. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and uh, cut that trip short so I can show you the other spot. I'm just gonna take out a small number of them. Uh, I don't need so many at this point. I want to go to Edgeville. Father, Drainer, and Burke is far. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Edgeville. There is there's a teleport to Barbarian Village. It's just kind of a specialty kind of a thing. But was there a scepter or something? It was a long time since I've done that, so I'm trying to remember. But there is a one, but the lodestone is still fairly close. So this one is lure and bait. The bait here needs 25, but lure. This is in. Sorry, that's already a trout. So you can see the trout is already uh, faster than the big net at this level. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do one load here for you, so you can see how I do it. Uh, I use the Edgeville bank from here. It's already 21. Some people will chop down the tree here and then use to light them, and then they will cook their fish, and then they will. Uh, you can choose. Some people want the power level, so that some people will drop their fish and just keep leveling, and then they will go and buy them later at uh, uh, buy other meats later at Grand Exchange and raise their cooking. So it depends what your objective is. If you want to balance, uh, you could uh, you could cook them first with the appropriate level. Um, this one is a clue squill I got while I was fishing. Uh, if you open that and follow that, uh, depending on whether it's easy, medium, hard, or elite, um, and then you get various levels of uh, reward for following the clue squill. Uh, kind of a diversion, like a distraction and diversion, like that. So you can follow the clue squills if you want, and get a random reward. Then depends on what your objective is. I might save that so that I can do a separate video for you on clue squills. There's 23 fishing already, so I can get cod now on the big net fishing in Catherby, place how it just was um, the bait harpoon spot, the big net. And also, if you're after clue squills and such, you can put the ring of wealth. Um, Same thing with the rugs, the strange rugs for the statue. The uh, the ring of wealth will change the uh, uh, mechanism for which you get things. I believe that includes squills and rugs. They changed the game so much it's hard to tell, but I know with squills and rugs it used to change the mechanism for that, along with drops while you were in combat, mostly with combat related drops. So one more to fill the spot. I'll also level to 24. There's a level I can't carry any more fish. 24. Right. And then the next level is 25 for bait. So when I go to the bank, um, somebody remind me when I get to the bank. I will pick up the bait. So I'm putting in the trout. Put on the clue scroll, but I want to change that. I'll put that before my fish. All right. Oh yeah, bait. Thanks for the reminder. So I'm gonna pick up just 50 bait because I don't need that many if we're power leveling and dropping the fish. Then you'll need as much bait as you're gonna bring, uh, a lot more than 50. And then, but only I'm only trying to get uh, a few levels. I still can't bait yet. Bait's 25, so I will lure with the feathers. Then after I get that last one here, and then I can switch to bait. So you should be able to tell at this point, compare between crafting and fishing. Fishing is a gathering skill, and crafting is a bank standing skill. Like artisan. Trying to remember what the game designers called it. But crafting, fletching, and herbs. You can do those while standing at the bank. Um, Mining, fishing, wood cutting. You have to go and gather the supplies. Uh, Actually, prayer could be done standing in the bank if you bought a stack of bones or saved your bones. You really should be burying your bones immediately at this level. Uh, when you get to higher levels and you need to train faster, and then you can do player owned altars, uh, gilded altars in your player owned home. You need a high construction level for that, and then you can get uh, much more experience per bone. But usually you'll do that with the higher bones. All right, so I got 25, so that's pike or bait fishing. So I'm gonna now. This is the see on the mini map. This is the river. So I'm gonna bait. So I'll now switch from the feather to the bait, and then I'll get different types of fish. All right, so here is pike. All right, so that's already 26. 30 is salmon fly fishing. So the salmon is also here. So the salmon is lure. So at 30, I will go ahead and at 30 I can switch back to lure, and it will give me both trout and salmon from the same spot. And then, so you could ask, oh, I want trout but not salmon, or I want salmon but not trout. Same thing with the uh, I want shrimps but not anchovies, or anchovies but not shrimps. Uh, while they're both in the same spot, you don't really get the choice. The game gives you what it wants. So if you want to pick what you want, you can either buy them on the event exchange or from another player, or you can go ahead and fish the spot and then sell the ones you don't want. Uh, so that's one of the nuances of this game. There is a uh, there is a music player in here, uh, and you have to turn on the music for it so that uh, I'm not sure if the audio is showing up. Uh, in the, uh, but there is audio in here for that. It takes a little bit of setting up to because these collecting skills kind of get boring. Alright, I hear some of the game noise for the skilling. You see. Alright, so full again, back to bank. Again, I'm using the actual bank for that. 27. And again, 2x. So remember your numbers for collecting will be higher. Because it's more likely that you will join when it's not a 2x. So because the 2x is only for a short while, it's usually not 2x. As you can see, this fishing video is running about an hour. The crafting video is much shorter, so the gathering skills usually take longer than the skills from crafting and fleshing. As you're gathering the supplies. So you have to think about how you want to train. If you, so a lot of times as the levels get higher, they spread out. So Let's see if I switch back to lure. Let me see if that's any faster, because I've been sitting there on bait for a while and it hasn't been moving. That's a little bit faster. I can catch slimy eel. Slimy eel. I'll have to see that. That's a members item. And Barbarian Village is a free area, so slimy eel is in a different place. I believe that's also a quest item, as I recall. I'm speeding up. It's a little bit faster to fish the trout than it is to fish the pike at this level. Well, at least for me at this point. Again, tried it, and you can try the different options when you do yours, because sometimes the generator that determines that when you collect and when you don't, or how fast you collect it. Sometimes it's a little bit off. There's 29. So yes, for me the trout is faster than the pike. I'm just going to wait until I get 30 so I can show you the other. So I can show you my first salmon, and then I'll wrap the video up at 30 with the first salmon, so that to try to give you a complete as complete as possible of a guide for starting fishing. So I'm gonna go ahead and deposit these. I will be using, as best as possible, I will be using some of this in the cooking video. We'll see how the cooking video goes, because I told you there's a bit of randomness to this game, so you have to expect the unexpected sometimes. I'm not going to use the bait right now, so I'm going to put that in. I'll pick up some more feathers. I guess you only need 27 or 28 feathers. If you're going to deposit them in the bank. If you're going to drop them in power level without running back, then I guess a large pile of feathers, and you can decide what's large for your own purposes. If you want to catch 10,000 of these, then I guess catch 10,000 of them. You need 10,000 feathers then. So um, it's an MMORPG. So you decide your own role because it's a role-playing game. So my old account when I was doing Santa, I decided that my role-playing would be that I would spend a lot of time skilling and building up, trying to build up the resources, and then I would use the resources to generate gold, and then I would use the gold to make a nice Christmas event. And then you can see, for as long as they leave that video up, you can see one of those videos, the 2007 Santa's Elf Parade, for as long as they leave it on this channel, because it's a copyright claim on one of the background music. So here's 30. So I can now catch salmon on the same lure spot. So you see the raw salmon. You also see I'm using medium crucible here. So alright, so this is my 1 to 30 fishing guide. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Kharid where I started the video. And I will do another video on cooking. That might be tomorrow, it might be next week. Might do it tonight, we'll see how things go. I'm gonna do some cooking here, and I'll do some cooking at the Catherby. Catherby is a members area, and this is the free area. So alright, so I'm gonna when I do my cooking video, you'll see me use the raw beef and shrimps that some I bought, some I fished, but you'll see I had 200 shrimps before I gathered 42 shrimps, 25 sardines, 15 herring, 13 anchovies, 10 mackerel, 71 trout, 18 raw pike, 2 salmon, 10 seaweed, 10 leather boots, 9 leather gloves, and 2 oysters. And that got me from, I believe I started around 2 or 3 fishing, and got to 30. Again, this was 2x, so when the 2x is no longer here, you can plan on collecting about twice as many to get that level. So that should give you an idea. I hope this video was helpful.